Was this change anticipated? I know you use the word the secular cut.
See, I definitely anticipated the TVK to get sizable votes, but what I did not anticipate is the momentum would have kept up in the last week and the surge. That I did not anticipate. I had an internal calculation of how many percentage of votes they would get, but they exceeded it by a few number of percentage points, and that started converting seats. But there was a chatter on the street. There was a lot of social media chatter. Anecdotal conversations definitely pointed towards that. But conventional political thinking, conventional surveys, conventional feedback from party workers did not reflect this. And that is where the shortcoming was. And that's what is worrying me a little bit more about our own political mechanism. And there was a need for change, and that he tapped into that, and people trusted him. In this election, candidates were completely irrelevant. In fact, were completely agnostic of who the candidate was. The vote was for him personally and for his symbol. And it didn't really matter who the candidate was. In fact, in most constituencies, the vast number of people who voted would not recognize the candidate unless the candidate start traveling and start making themselves familiar. So this was a very different election, and he also was a very unconventional politician. He did not address the press, did not give long speeches, only did large concert-style roadshows in about 7 or 8 times, never introduced the candidates. So I think more than anything else, it was a presidential style victory for a person whom people seem to trust and who believe will be the change maker here.
Why didn't Congress, go in for an alliance when he was offering so many seats?
Yeah, I've always believed that he will get significant votes, and I kept revising it. And as people say, why didn't you know the number on the first step? But that's not how politics works. You keep assessing and reassessing as things unfold. But I thought he will peak at a level because there won't be any momentum beyond it because he does not have known candidates and he does not have a ground game. I thought he will not be able to go beyond, say, 25. In fact, the maximum I gave him in my internal notes was 28%. But I did not anticipate him crossing 28%. And the number I had for him was 1.4 crore votes throughout the state, but he actually ended up getting 1.7. I had a reason for why I came up with 1.4, and it was communicated with 2 people internally. But I did not anticipate this 1.7. So that surge is something which we all missed. But I said this is missed by all surveys. Even post-election surveys didn't tell us that. Our booth workers, even post-election, did not tell us that in their own booths that the TVK was the #1 political party. That's what surprises me, and that's what disappoints me.
Is this AAP
and why did we not tie up with them? See, yes, there was a lot of speculation, and there was a lot of people who wanted this alliance to happen. I don't deny it. Everybody was open to various options because the Congress has not been in office for more than nearly 60 years.
Yes.
But when wide consultations were held with MPs, MLAs, AICC functionaries, Congress functionaries, the consensus was that it's very difficult to break an existing relationship which we had with the DMK for 22 years. And while we are dependent upon them and are cooperating with them in Parliament. And what is the reason we will decide to break that alliance especially when during the last 5 years, our MLAs have not really taken on the government on any issue in the assembly. So what will be the excuse to break that alliance? And secondly, we should have also been prepared to criticize the government and the DMK along with Vijay. Were we ready to do that? And was our leadership willing to do that? So there's wide consultations held. And after considering everything, everybody bought into this idea. So to suddenly to criticize now saying, you missed the opportunity. Yes, the opportunities were evaluated. Then a consensus was taken. MPs, I keep telling people, if people were so unhappy with the decision, 1996 would have happened. In AICC thrust upon a decision in 1996 on the Congress here, which says Mr. Narasimha Rao said that we have to have an alliance with Jayalalitha. People did not like it and they broke away. But in this case, there was no such rebellion. Everybody bought into the idea.